Okay. In this lecture, I will be discussing on the concept of neocolonialism and how this concept of neocolonialism is related with the underprivileged or disgruntled situation of minorities, ethnic communities, diasporic group, and tribal groups. So basically, I will be highlighting the concept of neocolonialism, and how this idea of neocolonialism is very much operational in the contemporary globalized world. So let me start my argument with the basic definition that is given in the Oxford English Dictionary. Oxford English Dictionary defines the word neocolonialism as, I quote, the use of economic or political pressure by the powerful countries to control or influence the other countries. So Oxford Dictionary underlines the the definition of neocolonialism like this: the use of economics and political pressure by the powerful countries to control or influence the other countries. So there are two basic terms which are related with the ideologies of neocolonialism, that is the economic or political pressure by the powerful country to dominate or to have control on the weaker nations. In this process, let me take another definition by the New Statesman. In 1961, the New Statesman described neocolonialism as the most dangerous form of colonialism. So neocolonialism is the most dangerous form of colonialism in human history, in the history of human growth, in the history of human progress, in the history of human development, in the history of human civilization. It is most dangerous form of colonialism. In colonialism, or in connection with colonialism, we can easily trace out the opposite forces who keep on controlling or dominating or exploiting the colonized nation. But in connection with neocolonialism, it is very much difficult to identify our enemy or friends, actually, because neocolonialism is not operated by the physical force or by the military force or by the power of the gun, but it is basically exercised by the different kind of policies, different kind of plans, different kind of policies and plan, which is implemented by the developed country in the underdeveloped nation, actually. So this is this power practice in fact is done at the international level, by different kind of organizations, by different kind of political confluences. So this is That is why the new statements in 1961 only has described neo-colonialism as the most dangerous form of colonialism. So we can say that neo-colonialism is the continuity of colonial domination in once colonized country, even after the demise of colonial empire. So a neo-colonialism is a kind of a continuation of colonial exploitation, of colonial domination, of colonial ways or methods of using the economic resources of the colonized country, even after the demise of colonial empire, even after the flag independence. So it says that colonialism can never be a kind of over project. Colonialism is always operational. Colonialism is always operative. It is always active in the colonized in the colonized nation, in the history of once colonized nation. Actually, it is always there. Actually, so that is why the concept of that is why it is stated by the scholar, theorists, and intellectuals that the concept of decolonization is a kind of impossible kind of idea. Actually, decolonization is never possible. Actually, and neo-colonialism, here does not mean only that that a nation is being controlled by certain kind of power from outside. Okay, it also means that a nation nation state can create different kind of problem in its own geographical territory. Actually, for example, we can take into account the issues of Jammu Kashmir with the government of India. We can take the issues of Nagaland. We can take the issues of Gorkhaland. These kind of problem actually can also be contextualized in the discourse of neo-colonialism, where the government itself become violent to control or to subjugate the voices of its own people. Actually, so it says, actually, neo-colonialism says, or it establishes a strong but very shrewd political and economic link with the colonized country and influences and exploits them. So this is the basic philosophy of neo-colonialism. So we find that the process of colonial exploitation and domination is historical phenomena that still continues. Okay, I will repeat this line. So we can say that the process of colonial exploitation and domination is an historical phenomena that still continues. In the contemporary literary theory, when we come to literary discourses, when we come to various kind of discourses which are there in humanities, we find that in contemporary literary critical theories, the concept of neo-colonialism has attracted the attention of intellectuals, theorists, politicians, and policymakers. In a very short time, this concept of neo-colonialism has obtained a kind of currency or a kind of fuzziness regarding its nature and its application. So it is very difficult, in fact, to define in a nutshell what it means to post-colonist. However, in brief, we will try to come across certain significant features and ramifications of neocolonialism that constitutes its basic meaning. I will not be going in detail of this theory of neocolonialism, but in brief, I want to say that basically connected with the concept of with the concept of globalization, with the with the concept of first world and third world nation in relationship, I mean to say. And it is also very much related with different kind of organizations, different kind of international companies, different kind of international policies, which are time to time conceived and implemented by the powerful nation, and the powerful nation in context with the developing nation actually. So this idea is not that much difficult as the idea of colonialism or post-colonialism. It is very simple to understand. If we have to understand this concept of if we have to understand this concept of neocolonialism clearly, we can easily connect it with the concept of hierarchy, with the concept of hierarchy, and how hierarchical relationships are functional or are used in a family itself. So from our own family, in fact, or from our own household, in fact, we can try to evaluate this concept of neocolonialism. If one's will, what I feel is that if one's will or if one's desire is not fully liberated, actually, is not fully liberated, or is not fully freed, and or is not given the sufficient space for its flowering, in fact, there we can say is the element of new colonialism. What I feel that these hierarchical structure which are imposed on human history or on human race or on human being, they are very much dominant and full of desire to control the human race. What is the most dangerous thing which happens in this connection is that human possibility is in fact controlled. The human hopes, human expectation, human possibilities, they are controlled and they are defined in a certain kind of pattern actually, and it is very difficult for the human being, especially for those who are at the periphery or at the center, to break this conditioning, to break this cultural conditioning, or to break this ideological patterns actually which are imposed to us actually. So that is why it is said, or it can be asserted, or can be concluded that to imagine for a complete freedom to anyone is a kind of impossible kind of idea actually. That's not possible at all. So and to break that actually, to break that or to dismantle that idea is also very much challenging in connection with this concept of colonialism, hierarchical structure, or the idea of new colonialism. Now I will take you to one theorist only. I will not be discussing all the theorists actually who have contributed to the concept of new colonialism. I will take only one critic and will try to theorize it, or will try to contextualize it, that how it could be understood in connection with the ethnic study, or in connection with the minority study, or in connection with the diasporic study itself actually. So to illustrate or to theorize the features and ramification of the word neo-colonialism, we will focus on Nukrum's book. The title of the book is Neo-Colonialism: The Last Stage of Imperialism. This book was published in 1965. When this book was published, actually, it was criticized. It was criticized widely, and it was termed. This book was termed as text of despair. The fundamentally, this book theorizes and popularizes the concept of neo-colonialism in a very wider sense. Actually, this book highlights the notion of socialism from above. I want to repeat this line. This book highlights the notion of socialism from the above, and dominant roles played by the Western system of economy in the colonized countries. So neo-colonialism, basically, this book theorizes, we can say, that neo-colonialism functions to control, dominate, and subjugate the power and economy of ex-colonies that have been controlled by the former colonial powers. So, although the era of former colonialism is over, and a new form of colonialism has emerged in the world's political scenario that dominates the post-colonial countries. Here I want to share one idea that in order to implement colonial